GCSE Higher Practice Paper 4B from mathstutor.biz and mathsdvds.co.uk. So here's the whole paper, which you can get a copy of if you go to my website or one of my websites and buy it. Along with the paper you get a DVD that goes through all of the questions in detail, explaining how to do them, and the marks are awarded for them, and making one or two other hopefully useful educational mathematical comments along the way. This particular clip is going to be this question number 2. So if you want more details and the opportunity to purchase DVDs, go to mathstutor.biz or mathsdvds.co.uk. GCSE Higher Practice Paper 4B, question number 2. A metal rod is formed as a long cylinder with a diameter of 10.25 centimeters and a length of that. So we'll draw a little sketch, even though it's not absolutely necessary, because I feel that it helps me get my head around the question. Make sure you think about whether that's the diameter or the radius. So maybe make a little note of it. And length. Another thing to look out for is the units. Are they both in the same units? If they are, things will be easier. If they're not, if that was 2.4 meters, then you might have to consider writing in centimeters. Just a point to make, I suppose. Part A. Find the area of the cross-sectional end. So what's the area of the cross-section end? Well, the area of a circle is pi r squared. Now that little formula, I doubt, is on the formula sheet. Seems to be one of them that the people that write these syllabuses and specifications seems you are meant to know. So make sure you know it. Sure you do. And the comment I made earlier, this is the diameter and I need the radius. So I need to divide the diameter by 2 and then square it. But this is a calculator paper, so we can make the calculator do all the effort there. So I'll do pi multiplied by bracket 10.25 divided by 2 close bracket squared equals. Now this is right at the beginning of the exam, and I don't know, but some people get a bit tense and then gradually relax. So I would recommend most definitely doing this again, preferably a different way. So first off I'm going to do 10.25 divided by 2, and now I'm going to say let's square that answer, and now I'm going to say let's multiply that answer by pi. So if I do it in a different order and I get the same answer, my confidence will build. Don't forget the units of the answer. There's the calculator answer, and then answer to a suitable degree of accuracy. So you do that even though the examiner may not always say. This is a comment that the examiner's made in this particular question. Give the answer to a suitable degree of accuracy. But it's something you should always do. In the calculator paper especially, give the calculator answer and then to a suitable degree of accuracy. And I would suggest the question has got 2 decimal places. You cannot be more accurate than the information you're given. The information you're given is to 2 decimal places, so you can't be more accurate than that. So that would be a sensible answer, doing it to 2 decimal places. But some people say that you're going to be less accurate when you do a manipulation like squaring, when you work out area. So some people are going to argue that that is a more suitable answer. I have no doubt whatsoever the examiner will accept both of those as suitable degree of accuracy. Part B. The volume of the rod in cubic centimetres. Well, everything's in centimetres, so that bit's okay. If it wasn't, like I said earlier, if that was 2.4 centimetres, I'd have had to consider it at this point. It's the volume of a cylinder. The volume of a cylinder is the same as the volume as a prism. It's the area of the end times the length. So that's pi r squared, that's the area of the end, times the length. So it's the answer we just got multiplied by 240. Now, if you don't turn your calculator off, that answer is still in the window, the full calculator answer. So I might as well multiply the full calculator answer by 240. So write down the calculator answer and then a sensible answer, a suitable degree of accuracy answer. Now the units is volume, so let's do that. I would suggest that 19800 is a very sensible answer. I think 19803.81 is not as sensible. Okay, let's give some marks for that before we go on. 2 marks here, method and sensible answer, so one of those, whichever you decided, which was sensible. And similarly, part B, actually 3 marks here, so that's a little bit harder according to the examiner. So we'll have 2 answers there, one for any correct looking answer and another one then for the suitable degree of accuracy answer. And on to the last part of this question, so we're still on question 2, part C now. A metal rod is formed as a long cylinder with this diameter and this length, so it's the same information. Now we're talking about the cost of delivery. The cost of delivery for these rods is that much per rod plus that much per meter length. So this is a standard charge per rod, so every rod that they deliver they charge that, and then they add on, worked out, of £2.34 per metre. That's in centimetres, so I do need to appreciate what it is in metres. So this, if you like, is the meterage charge, and this is the standard charge for any rod, so let's work that out. 12.99 plus open brackets 2.34 multi. When you're typing things in, it's a good idea to have a half an eye on what you're typing in, because I've actually missed out that 3, not intentionally, but I spotted it. But let's pretend I didn't spot it. 2.4 close brackets equals. It's a lovely simple question. It's only question number 2. It's right at the beginning of the exam, and I've pressed the buttons wrong. I noticed it, but let's pretend that I didn't, because as I suggested earlier, work it out again and possibly a different way. So I'm going to do that bit first this time. Open brackets 2.34 multiplied by 2.4 close brackets equals, and then add on the 12.99. So I've done it a different way, but I should get the same answer, and I haven't. I've actually got this. In the exam. And maybe I'm beginning to panic, but no, I'll type it in 12.99 plus open brackets 2.34 multiplied by 2.4 close brackets equals. And actually I've got a third different answer, which I really am beginning to panic. So let's type it in again, doing that bit first. 2.34 multiplied by 2.4 close brackets equals. That's the charge for the meterage of the pipe. Now we'll add on the delivery charge that's always charged, the 12.99. Feeling a little bit better now, because I've got the same answer twice. So I'm going to deduce from that that I spotted the mistake I made when I was typing that in, even though I didn't mean to make it. I didn't spot what I did there, but I did something daft. And that sort of thing is going to happen in an exam. Now the last thing is sensible degree of accuracy. This is the calculator answer, but it's meant to be money. So that's not a sensible answer when we're talking about money. Either that is, or that is. I would suggest this one because it's a company and they charge as much as they can, so they'd round it up. Right, well, there's only 2 marks there, one for that answer and one for the sensible answer. But I hope I've made the point about in the calculator paper, the calculator doesn't make the actual mathematics any easier at all. You have to know what you're doing and you have to use the calculator carefully. It is very easy when you're not in an exam to make a silly mistake. In an exam it's even more likely. These are theoretically at the beginning of the paper easy questions. You want to get them right to get your total score of marks, because that's what your grade is based on, high. Well, I spent a long time doing that, but I hope it was worthwhile and worth you considering.